Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Hayes in Kansas. Hope you've had a super fantastic sparkling day. I am exhausted. But first of all, how's your challenge recap? And then I'll get to you what I got up to today. I haven't been online. Well, I've been online a lot, but just not. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So for your mindset, were you able to come up with your positive kit, your kit that when you're feeling down and out, that will help you bounce back, help lift your spirits so that you're able to deal better with what you're dealing with? For business, how did you go with your follow-ups? I'll talk about mine in a minute. And what fun facts did you learn? This morning we talked about how the apple pie isn't actually American. Apples are originally from Asia, for those that didn't follow this morning's one, and the first apple pie recipe was recorded in England. And then unicorn is the national animal for Scotland. And I like this fun fact. The average male gets bored of a shopping trip after 26 minutes, yet it takes a woman around 2 hours before they get bored. So that was kind of funny. With me, I'm like, I got to be in and out. It's like if I've got to go to a mall to get anything, it's like I pull up a map of the mall on the computer. I find where is the store, what is the nearest entrance to that entrance into the mall to that store. If I go in, do I have to go upstairs or downstairs, and how many stores along do I have to go from the entrance? And I'm in and out as quick as possible. Oh, hello, little one. Do you want to say hello? You're not going to say hello to everybody? Oh, you're watching the corn again. There's something about the corn blowing that I'm not sure what is going on with her. Where was I? Where were we at? You got goopy eyes. Come on, come here. There you go. Now you're all pretty. You can get that stuff out of your eyes. Do you want to say hello? I know. You want to go out, don't you? Yes. Because Mummy totally lost track of time. The sound of the phone was switched off, so I didn't get my reminders. And I've been talking all day. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie girl. She's been very, very good. Although I'm not so sure about the mess that she's left on the floor. I gave her this, I thought it was like a Himalayan stick, and yes it was, but it's porous, so it's easier to chew. And I don't know how well this is going to show up, but we'll show you. Come here. Get out of the way. Look at all this mess. She's just all these little crumbs and everything. It's from the stick that she's broken up and spread all over the floor, which means I'm going to have to get, and it's over there, I'm going to have to get the vacuum cleaner out tonight to get all of that picked up and cleaned up, because it actually hurts your feet when you stand on the stuff. But she's got it going all over the place tonight. So, yeah, that's one of tonight's jobs after we get back from a walk, is picking all that stuff up. Well, if you don't let it go, I can't throw it. Okay. Drop it. Let go, Zeph. Zeffy, let go. Drop. Okay. Obviously, we don't want to play ball. So what other fun facts did you find today? I have not been on Facebook to have a look at posts today, so I don't know if anybody's posted anything. It's been a very busy day. As I said, I've been on the phone most of the day. I was on a training session at 10 a.m. this morning. Then I had like a 30-minute break. Then I was mentoring somebody for an hour on Zoom. Then I had a phone call for an hour, reconnecting with somebody I haven't seen not since I lived in LA, which was a few years ago. Then I had a connection with a polka dot, which was kind of cool because we had a lot of stuff in common, so it was a fun. But the reconnecting with the one from LA was really, really cool, and what she is developing is mind blowing. But I pointed out to her, I said, what's with the number 5? Because everything she was giving me was in groups of 5. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you told me this, there's 5 of these, there's 5 of that, and then you're rattling this lot off and there's 5 of them. And she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. So now she's going to, so it was kind of interesting just listening and picking up on something that she's been working on for years and not realizing that she'd been using the number 5 frequently. That was kind of cool. Then I met up with a polka dot, and we have a lot in common with genealogy and camping and RVing and all of that. So we had a great conversation there. Then I had a guy who connected with me the other day who's a genealogist who lives in Salt Lake City. So he goes to the family library there often. And so we ended up talking for an hour and a half. It was fantastic. I got to learn a lot about what he does, because I'm interviewing different genealogists right now for when I start up the podcast for Your Family Tree Detective, because I want to bring on people who are specialists in certain areas, like the DNA expert talking about DNA and genealogy and how the two are connecting. I want to bring on somebody who's a specialist in helping find missing persons using genealogy, or helping people who have been adopted to find their birth parents, or birth siblings, or their birth family, basically. What on earth are you? The ball got stuck. And then finding genealogists who specialize in African American genealogy, or Native American genealogy. And there's all different realms of genealogy. So it's so I'm connecting with these people, and he connected with me, and so I sent him a message when I saw what he does, and I said, do you mind if we can connect, because I'd love to talk to you about what it is that you do in the genealogy field. Well, excuse me. You want the blind open? Okay. Obviously there's something outside that she feels she has to look at. Although I don't know what, because I don't see anybody out there. But she's sort of like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and whine. But we ended up talking an hour and a half. We were talking about different mysteries that we've come, different mysteries we've come across, skeletons in the closet we've come across, different challenges we've had and how we've come across them. Zeffie's putting her 2 cents worth in. Do you want to say something? I know, you want to go outside, don't you? She's not very interested in the dog park here. I don't know why. We were down there this morning, and she sort of like went and did a business and went and stood by the gate. So I was like, okay, I'm done, let's go. I'm like, okay. So for some reason she doesn't like the dog park here very much. Good to note. We'll have to note that. So we had a great conversation about different stumbling blocks we'd come across, how we'd gotten around them. It was a really, really good conversation, and he used to work at the library in Salt Lake City, so it was interesting to talk to him about that. And he goes there often to do research for when he's researching for his clients and things. So it was a great conversation, and we're going to be keeping in contact. So when it comes time to doing the podcast, we will get him on there and interview him, and have a lot of fun with that. So it's been a long day of talking, and I finally got off all the meetings and everything else and realized I didn't schedule lunch today at all in my schedule. I thought I had it in there. It wasn't. So I just gone from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting, and then I finally got off that. My phone ringer had been turned off while I was in all my meetings and everything else. Some were on the phone, and some were on Zoom. And so then after that I thought, I need food. So I went and made lunch. Actually, I think it was like around 5 o'clock by that point. So I made some lunch/dinner and went and sat in the recliner and ate it and snoozed a little bit. Yeah. And then came over and was just doing some genealogy research on a couple of things that based on a couple of ideas that I talked about with Christopher. I went in and implemented those ideas to see if it would fix the problem that I had, this challenge that I had, and not quite, but it did give me clues to go elsewhere. And I said to Zephyr, I said, okay, I'm just going to go do this one thing. That was like an hour and a half ago, because I knew I had the call coming up, and then I just totally got into the thing, lost track of time. So I apologize for being late. I apologize for the horses and the voice. I still haven't figured out where I'm going tomorrow yet. But I'm going to go take Zephyr for a walk now, and then I'll figure it out when we get back. But something outside has definitely got her interest, so getting her outside is not going to be a problem. So that's it for me for today. We may even stay here one more night. I don't know. I don't know. I do have a call tomorrow, which was going to put a time crunch on me to get to where I need to go, get to the next place, wherever that is. So I'm going to do some looking tonight, and it'll be based on whether or not they have availability. So I may even do a same-day reservation, which will be interesting. You ready to go outside, little miss? Zeffy, you ready to go outside? Gonna go run in the park? There's a big sigh. Yeah, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that tonight there will be no thunderstorms. 2 nights in a row of having virtually no sleep is not fun. No wonder I'm needing naps, and I'm absolutely exhausted. She's giving her thoughts about the thunderstorms too. Getting woke up at 3:15, 2 mornings in a row with thunderstorms, no. And then basically not getting any sleep after that, and that's not fun at all. It's not good for the health. No, it's not good for the health, is it? All those thunderstorms? They were very loud, weren't they? And last night's one was very flashy, wasn't it? We've got a skylight that's, you can see it above the shower up there. That's what the big bright light is. There's a skylight up there, and the flashes were coming through that and lighting up the bedroom. So it was a lot. There was a lot of flash, no fork lightning, but a lot of flash lightning. Like you could look at. I had the blind up next to the bed, and I was looking out, and you could see it up in the clouds, and you see the flashing going on in the clouds. So it was a very flashy type of lightning, not a fork lightning, but like what we get in New Zealand, very flashy. So it's up in the clouds, and you see it lighting the clouds up and all of that. But it was lighting the clouds up bright enough that it was coming through our skylight and lighting up the bedroom. So my dog is protesting. I need to go. So I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. He konera.